Hello again, this is Alex Chavez with NS Corporation bringing to you another helpful how-to video. In this video we'll talk about spray nozzles. Here behind me is a 3000 series machine. We have a spray manifold here. This is your detergent manifold, which supplies detergent solution to the brush system for friction. It runs off of reclaimed water. Okay. For demonstration purposes, we've installed here a check valve nozzle, right, and also a check valve foaming nozzle. This is your standard nozzle you would have on this machine, and depending on the size of the flow rate calculations that are done, the nozzles are going to indicate the size right here. For example, this one is a 50-20. On the top it says 50, on the bottom it says 20. The top number is the degree of that fan, how wide that fan is, that angle, 50 degrees. The bottom where it says 20, it's actually 2 gallons a minute. Okay, so these nozzles, and if you look at the picture below of a worn nozzle and a new nozzle, when this nozzle starts to wear, that hole is going to start to get larger, right? Because you have particulates there that are going to wear it out. Long term, we're talking. But what that's going to do is it's going to decrease the fan spray, minimizing the coverage on the vehicle, plus your flow rate is going to get higher. So it's key to replace nozzles. You know, walking around, if you look at the nozzles here, I can see that they're brand new, right? You can see the nice hole. It's very well machined, but if you see a large, unevenly worn hole, replace these nozzles. It is key to how well that pump is going to also function. You know, the pump calculations are done based on all the nozzles that we're putting on this system. If these nozzles all tend to enlarge, you know, you're putting a little bit more load on that pump, trying to pump that water out. Now, moving on to this nozzle, like again I said, for demonstration purposes, check valve nozzles are not used on reclaim. They're used on freshwater applications or RO, reverse osmosis systems, right? So you have a check valve. The reason for the check valve is that when the machine shuts off, these nozzles would typically just drain out the reclaim water, which is fine. But these guys, RO water is expensive, so is fresh water. So we don't want to waste that water. When we shut off the pump, we're going to get this spray that shuts down, and eventually this check valve is going to close, containing this pipe filled with water. Now, on all nozzles, what you want to make sure, one is that the nozzle is not worn, but also if it's clogged, that the fan is spraying correctly. But if it's clogged, you can remove the nozzle, pull it out, tap it on something, and stick a pin in here and clean it out. These right here, they're easier because you just pull this cap out. You can see there's a nozzle. If I pull it all the way out, there's an O-ring and a nozzle. I can clean that nozzle. Now put it back into place. Takes a second, but we'll put it back in there. You got to align it again to that slot where it was. So what we want to do is make sure we have clean nozzles, right? Here's the O-ring. We're going to put that back in its place. Clamp it on. We just cleaned our nozzle. Now the check valve. If this check valve does not seal right, if it gets some kind of debris, or if they're worn, this can continually drip. If you see a continual drip, you want to disassemble the check valve portion of it. Be careful not to drop any of the parts. And as you can see here, and you can hear it, there's a little diaphragm in here with a spring behind it. That's closing this off and keeping the solution, the water, RO water, fresh water, in the pipe. So you can pull this out, clean it. Now there's a little spring behind it. So we're going to put this back. You want to make sure there's no debris there, there's nothing there. Put it back together. But like with everything, continual usage throughout the years, that spring is going to fatigue and maybe it cannot hold the water inside the pipe anymore. So you're going to want to change these out once the check valve is not doing its job correctly. This other type of nozzle, which you'll see in some of your bus washers, the same thing. It's a check valve. This long nozzle has a hole here. It's for a Venturi effect where it sucks in air. It's got a longer nozzle. with a screen inside of it. What that does, it creates a suction of air, induction of air into the stream of water, and the screen causes it to bubble up a little bit more. So you're going to see a little bit more bubbles on the surface of the vehicle. Same thing again. Here's your nozzle. You can clean it out, pop it all out, assemble it, put it back in there, twist, put it back on. Same type of check valve. Again, there's your check valve. Make sure it's clean. Put it back together. But if these are old and fatigued and worn, you're going to want to change those out. Please contact us at nswash.com. Talk to our service department. Get your check valves replaced. Remember, RO water is expensive, so is fresh water. So the more you contain inside these pipes, the less you're going to waste. The other thing, make sure to look at your nozzle. Look at this before and after picture below. You know, a worn nozzle versus a new nozzle. And again, with these, it's the same thing. You're going to see a number in front of them. So you can order them based on the flow rate and size. This one is 40, 10, which means 40 degrees. And the second set of numbers, 10, means 1 gallon a minute. Either that, these are not visible and you cannot read it. You can go to your O&M manual and look at the machine and what nozzles were specified for your system. Whether it be for reclaim, which are non-check valve nozzles or prongs, or check valve nozzles that are on your freshwater or RO system. Thank you and have a great day.